Om Parthaya Pratibodhitam Bhagavata Narayanena Swayam Vyasena Gratitam Puranamudina Madhye Mahabharatam Advaitamritavarshini Bhagavatim Ashtadashadhyayinim Pattvamanusandathami Bhagavad-gite Bhavadveshini Namostute Vyasa Vishala Buddhe Fullaravindayata Patra Netra Ena Tvaya Bharata Taila Purnaha Prajvalito Jnanamaya Pradipaha Prapanna Parijataya Putra Vetraikapanaye Jnanamudraya Krishnaya Gita Mritaduhe Namaha Sarvopadishado Gavaha Dogdha Gopalanandanaha Partho Vatsa Sudhir Bhokta Duktam Gita Mritam Mahat Vasudeva Sutam Devam Kamsachanuramardanam Devaki Paramanandam Krishnam Vande Jagadgurum Bhishma Drona Tata Jayadrata Jala Gandhara Nilotpala Shalyagrahavati Kripedavani Karnena Velakula Ashwathama Vikarna Ghora Makara Duryodhana Vartinim Sotirna Khadu Pandavairanati Kaivartaga Keshavaha Parasharyavachas Sarojamamalam Gitarthagandotkatam Nanakyanaka Kesaram Harikata Sambodhana Bodhitam Loke Sajjana Shakpatairaharaha Vipiyamanam Muda Uyad Bharata Pankajam Kalimala Pradvamshina Shreyase Mukam Karoti Vachalam Pangum Langayate Gridam Yatkripa Tamaham Pante Paramananda Madhavam Yam Brahma Varunendra Rudra Marutaha Stunvanti Divyaistavai Vedai Sangha Padakramopanishadai Gayanti Samaga Dhyanavastita Tadgatena Panas Manasa Pashyanti Yam Yoginaha Yasyantam Navidussura Suragana Devaya Tasmai Om Jai Shri Krishna Shri Krishna Paramatmane Namaha Atha Ekadashodhyayah Vishwarupa Darshana Yoga Nama Ekadashodhyayah. So, Arjuna, the seeker, wanted to have a total view of Ishvara as the cause of everything. This cannot be comprehended through ordinary eyesight. So Ishvara says, I give you Divya Chakshu. Divya Chakshu means an insight. It means you need a certain divine vision. You need a certain capacity to look at the whole thing, to understand the whole thing. And it is picturized as though you are being given a snapshot of the whole Srishti. And when Arjuna sees that snapshot of the whole Srishti, he sees the pleasant, and he also sees the not so pleasant. I wouldn't like to use the word unpleasant, because it is something like people who have seen, you only seen possibly pictures of a tsunami striking the coast about 20 years ago here in Chennai in December. The people who saw that tsunami, a person saw it from on top of the lighthouse. He was devastated. He was horrified by the fury. He has never seen the sea so furious. So suppose you went and spoke to the sea, to the ocean, and said, you are so horrifying. He said, what horrifying? There is one more rupa of mine. And I don't go about destroying coastlines and affecting people and destroying vegetation. There is a natural law. Some tremors at the bottom of the ocean create certain disruptions. And that brings tsunami waves to the surface. It happens in certain tsunami prone region. It doesn't happen across the world. It happens in tsunami prone region. And you guys, people, are intelligent enough to know that these things can happen. So shouldn't you take precaution? There is something called the coastal regulation zone. Should you build your house right up to the sea beach where the ripples come and hit your house walls? Or should you provide that a kilometer or 3 or 4 kilometers so that even if the tsunami waves come, they will come up to a point and go back? They also say if it is covered by marshlands, then the marsh takes the impact. You build houses in marshland and you say, I am unpleasant. The whole thing is a play of your karma. The whole thing is the play of your karma. You cut down forests, there will be no rain. You fill up areas which are meant to absorb rainwater with concrete buildings. Where will the rainwater go? It will rush into the cities. If you block the path of the water to where it drains itself out, it will come in. Water finds its own level. It finds its way inside. This is my law. This is Ishvara's infallible order. So when the order works properly, you're happy. When the order works properly in areas which you have created, there is bound to be situations not so pleasant. He said, I don't harm anyone. I am there. Ishvara says, I am there as infallible order. If you decide to walk out of your 5th floor balcony and want to test, I am an Ishvara Bhakta, I want to test whether my bhakti will protect me from falling down. You will come thudding down to earth and leave possibly with a broken leg, broken backbone, and then bedridden for life. Don't blame Ishvara. This is because the law says the gravity works like this. So that's exactly what's being highlighted when he wanted to have the whole vision, and when he saw things which were not pleasant enough. What was the thing he saw? He saw wheels with teeth, which was crushing everything in its path. Everything that comes in its path is being crushed by the wheels. And what comes in its path? He mentions your relatives, my relatives, common relatives, friends, all of us will be crushed by the teeth. It will tear us asunder. There is no escape. There is just no escape. That is the law. The body has to go. And you have arrogated to yourself thinking that I am going to kill Bhishma, I am going to kill Drona. You are going to do nothing. You are a nimitta matra. Tera vajood hai sirf dastaan ke liye. Your presence is there only to fill up certain parts in the story. Are tu nahi hai to aur koi. If you are not there, I fill up with another character. The character, the story won't go begging because Arjun is not there. He said, if you are not you, somebody else will come. And he said, anyway, the script is written. I have written a story. He said, I have written a story in which I have killed Bhishma. Bhishma has to die in these circumstances. I am the story writer. I have done this. And you 2 chapters before you come and jump all over the place saying, I am going to kill Bhishma. He said, you're going to do nothing. You're only going to do what I write. How can I shoot my tata? You're not going to shoot your tata, man. You're going to play a role. Understand this clearly. This clarity is what is being called for, and that's what Krishna is talking about when he talks about the whole vision. He says, taking the whole vision is not easy. Taking the whole vision of anything is not easy. Not a joke. I'll tell you a whole vision somebody once told me. There was a very close friend, smart, where is this? 38, yeah, there. Yeah, we are. There was a close friend who was undergoing a certain surgery. It was, let's say, 30 years ago, when surgery was a little more complicated than what's today. Today, it is like playing with video games. So 30 years ago, it was a lot more complicated. Somebody had to go through open heart surgery. So I asked the surgeon, "How are you going to do? What can you describe the process?" So he told me, "You ask the relatives to wait outside." Because he says, two of them are sitting here. If I'm looking at them, I have a feeling if I describe the process, the two will faint first. So let them go out. Because he could discern the shock that they are going to face. And he explained the procedure. The heart is here. It's covered by a rib cage. I have to fracture the rib cage. How are you going to fracture? There are going to be those huge scissors, Katak, katak, katak. Yeah, katak, katak, I don't know why to say in. It reminds me of some joke. People will say, what will they think of? So the ribs are cut. And then it is opened and fixed. Then they go inside and take the heart out. Connected to a heart-lung machine which will do the purification for the next hour or so. Then they take it to a table nearby where the defective valve is removed, a fresh valve is put, then all the cleaning is done. They put it back into the heart, suture it and give an electric shock. The whole thing comes. So suppose you saw it, many of us would have to be immediately admitted to an ICU. Immediate. So there are certain things which the human, you just can't take it. The wakeful human being cannot take certain things. A gory accident, something like that. It is the not so pleasant. You ask for it, buddy, you ask for it, therefore you're going to take it. And Krishna is absolutely stuck, first in our astonishment, then in fear. Then the next emotion that Arjuna comes from verse number 38 onwards is that of, hey, why did I take you so lightly? Krishna and Arjuna grew up together. They were cousins. They grew up together. He always looked at Arjuna as some smart guy. A guy who's smart, who wins games, who wins easily, who is cheerful, and whose exploits he has heard. The fellow is smart. But he has never really seen Arjuna, Krishna, as the Vishwara, one who is capable of all this. That's one thing. The other thing is, see, many of us, almost all of us here, have never really had, or maybe some of us had, what is that, the close encounter of the Ishvara kind. There was once a movie made, Close Encounter of Another Kind.
Of the third kind.
Of the third kind, fourth kind. I am talking about Ishvara, close encounter of the Ishvara kind. You almost saw Ishvara face to face. Have you ever? Perhaps. And when you face that, you are left with some kind of wonder. The wonder is endless. That's exactly what Arjuna is going through. Imagine you actually faced a miracle situation. You actually faced. It happened, I think, a former Prime Minister of India, the aircraft crashed. The aircraft broke into two. And one part where the crew and the pilots were there, they all died. The passenger part tumbled straight into some muddy field. And he was not, I think he was he had just become the Prime Minister. He walked up to the field and said, I am the Prime Minister of India. Those fellows had a hearty laugh. Till he cleaned himself and showed himself. I heard this as a story of Moraji Desai. So after that, I don't know whether he turned a bhakta or not. But imagine, escaping with your life by the skin of your teeth, they say. And when you have such encounters, it leaves you wonder-struck. That's exactly what Arjuna is going through in verse number 38 onwards. He is appreciating Ishvara from every possible view. Hey, I never knew all this, and all these words keep pouring out of him. So he says, Tvamadideva Purushah Puranaha Tamasya Vishwasya Param Nidhanam Vetasi Vedyam Cha Param Cha Dhama Tvaya Tatam Vishwamanantarupam. Once more. Tvamadideva Purushah Puranaha Tvamasya Vishwasya Param Nidhanam Vetasi Vedyam Cha Param Cha Dhama Tvaya Tatam Vishwamanantarupa. So he says, Tvam, you, Adideva, you are the primal God. Mani, you are the God of gods. You understand this term? We have been using these words casually, God of gods. Okay. Like recently happens, when there is one a movie singer who in July, very famous and a very popular singer. And July falls death day, December is birthday, and everybody calls him Farishta. That is the maximum Farishta they know. Farishta of Hindi film music. If he is Farishta, then what is the real Farishta like? Tvam Adi Deva, you are the Deva of all Devas. Okay, a glorifying verse. When you say Adi Deva, you have to understand the Vedic mind. For me, every phenomena is Ishvara. Every phenomena. Sun is Ishvara. Moon Ishvara. Stars Ishvara. Vayu Ishvara. Agni Ishvara. Anything that I can think of is Ishvara for me. That is the phenomena. Imagine an Ishvara of all these Devas. An Ishvara which sustains all these Devata. A law, an order which sustains all these orders. Is a vision. So, Tvam Adideva Puranaha Purushaha. Purusha here means two things. One is the alive being. One who dwells in this body is a Purusha. Purusha also means one who dwells in every living being. The same Purusha dwells in every living being. Can you relate to it? Yes. You go into a jewelry shop, okay? Who resides in all the jewels? Swarna, gold Devata. If Ishvara was not there, you wouldn't give a second look at that gold ornament. You call it gold chain, but it should really be, you are using the gold as an adjective and chain as a noun. It should be chainy gold. Gold appearing as a chain. Gold appearing as bangly gold. If you don't go to jewelry shop and ask all this, please ask for golden chain. But your understanding is, your value gold, you relate to gold, you buy gold, you wear gold. Hey, why? How can you miss gold? You are dealing with Ishvara, you are wearing Ishvara, you are breathing Ishvara. Dadak is your Ishvara, and how can you miss Ishvara? He is the Purusha, and the most in anything that ancient you can imagine, that Purusha. Purana Purusha. Tvam Param Nidhanam. You are the ultimate sustainer of everything. Gold alone sustains all the arguments. Ocean alone sustains all the waves. Fabric alone sustains all these kurtas and shirts. You are the Param Nidhanam. You as intelligent cause, you as the material cause are the sustainer of this entire Srishti. This is the vision of a Bhakta. It is not kitchen logic. Well, why is it called kitchen logic? Even as your potatoes, you will say. Even, this chopping is because of Ishvara only. Without understanding anything, you will be doing all. Even boiling is happening Ishvara, but if you really feel it, that's called kitchen logic. Only talking, vacharam, but only at the word level. This fellow has assimilated. Arjuna has assimilated. We are all Arjunas here. We have gone through 10 chapters. 7 and 9 you have studied. You have seen Ishvara as the Abhinna Nimitta Upadana Karana, the non-separate and the non-separate, intelligent and material cause of the Srishti. You have seen Arjuna, Ishvara like that. This is just an understanding that is now working for him. He said, oh my God, is it so? Is this how it works? The realization is dawning on this. Tvam paramam nidhanam asya vishwasya, in this Vishwa, Srishti, asi deta. Deta means one who knows everything. Vedyam cha. That is such amazing words. You are the knower. You are the known. You are the subject. The sub-object cannot exist apart from you. Veda cha, vedyam cha. You are the knower. You are the known. Okay, let me take you to your dream. Okay, you had a nice dream this morning. In your dream, I met so many of you who have come here. Some of you I met, and then we exchanged greetings and this. So I am the guy who saw you there, the dream, and I am the being who was seen in the dream. In my dream, I met our friend Subramaniam there. So I am the seer. Subramaniam, the seen, is also me. So in this entire Srishti, the knower is Ishvara, the known is Ishvara. There is nothing apart from Ishvara. If this is Ishvara, where are you going in search for that fellow? You want to go to heaven in search for him? You want to go to some mountain top in search of him? That means you have concluded he is not there. A fellow says God is in heaven, then he is not here anymore, is it? This is a logic once, our Swamiji checks this in private classes. God is in heaven. So it's a place. Was heaven created? Yes. Who created? God created. Then where was he before heaven was created? Hell. So God in hell made heaven. You can't ask those questions. You will be burnt at stake because there are no answers. But when I say Ishvara is the Abhinna Nimitta Upadana Karana, like your dream, and you say, oh yeah, yes, in my dream I created this entire Srishti. When I woke up, the dream went back into me. Prabhavasya, pralayasya, tvam karanam, you are the author and the dissolution of your dream. To superimpose this dream at the cosmic level, there is a cosmic intelligent being who is a cosmic conscious being, who is the Srishti Karta, who is the Laya Karta. From him it projects, and into him it projects. It resolves back. Him I use because there is no other. I can't use it. Him, yeah, like a spider. Him, it doesn't mean that there is a her there waiting somewhere, and don't accuse me of gender bias and things like that. Vedyam cha. Acham. Param. And this is, they use the word beyond. See, the moment I say beyond, my body language takes over. I'll say beyond. I'll start looking up there. That's why people start looking for Ishvara there. Because I can't communicate without body language. So I say, Param, and everybody starts looking, where is this Param? Param simply means that it is beyond, it is not easily comprehensible. The buddhi, which comprehends objects. You are trying to comprehend the subject with an instrument which is meant for using objects. This instrument is meant to see the object. And you want to know the subject with this instrument? He says, understand, it is beyond the capacity of this instrument. That's why the word beyond is used. Beyond, I want to look beyond. Beyond me, what's there? Nothing there. Sit under a tree and look beyond. There are birds there waiting to do things on your face. It doesn't work that way. Okay, the whole thing is to be understood, related. Okay? Paramam Vishwam Tatam. You are pervaded the entire Vishwa, cosmos is pervaded by you and you alone. All the gold ornaments are pervaded by gold and gold alone. This is pervaded by cotton alone. The entire Srishti is pervaded by Ishvara as intelligent cause and material cause alone. The Karana pervades the cause pervades the Karana. Okay? The cause is Karanam. Cause is the Karanam. Karanam pervades the Karyam, product. Every earthen pot is pervaded by clay. There cannot be a pot which is apart from clay. Clay pervades. So that's why you are Ishvara. You are the Karanam, Sarva Karanam, and you inhere in the entire Srishti. In appreciation. These are glorious verses which you sit in meditation and then repeat and relate to. Okay? Tvaya. Okay. Ananta Rupa. This is an endless format. This design is endless. I can't say this is where it begins. This is where it ends. It is endless. Okay. Let's go to verse number 39. Okay. In 39, Arjuna goes a first step further and says, 39. Now, he said everything is you. So this everything is he's trying to illustratively give you a list of everything. Vayuryamognivarunashashankaha Vayuryamognivarunashashankaha Prajapatistvam Prapitamahascha Namo namastestu sahasrakritva Punascha bhuyopi namo namaste. Once more. Vayuryamognivarunashashankaha Prajapatistvam Prapitamahascha Namo namastestu sahasrakritva Punascha bhuyopi namo namaste. So, how many times I do namaha to you? Sahasra, thousands of times. Sahasra kritva. After having done that, I find I have not yet done enough. So, punascha bhuyopi nama namaste by gir ke namaskar karta hu. I keep falling flat at your feet every time. Why? Because of certain glorious things that I am able to insightfully relate to. What are it? What are those insightful things? Vayuhu. See, for us, I don't like to use the word Hindus. For us who are from the Vaidika Parampara, Vayu is a Devata. Agni is a Devata. Vayu, Agni are Devata. That's why you don't burn everything in Agni. If you have to burn something in Agni, if it's even the mortal remains of somebody, it is to be done with proper prayer. You have to do a certain prayer and say, Agni Devata, I am offering this to you. Please take it to the upstairs. It's like a courier. He is going to courier it to a destination. Hand it over to the right person after seeing his Aadhaar card. And the Aadhaar is Mahavishnu. So, Aadhaar has come from that. Aadhara. Your Aadhaar, that piece of plastic is Mahavishnu. Okay? Vayu. Agni. Varunaha. Hey, these three things you need for survival. Vayu, Agni and Varunaha. And even after all this, Yama is waiting. Okay? Even after having all this, a time will come when Yama says, chalo beta, come. Bhais right there. Buffalo is waiting. Let's go. We have to take a tortuous journey back home. Hello. Okay. So, Varunaha, Shashankaha, moon. Okay. These are the elements that you see and you are aware of. Yama here means the end of everything. Okay, Yama, I don't look for somebody big and black and stout and things like that. That's for the movie. And they always find a character who likes like that. He has a mustache. He will come with a buffalo. Yeah, what if he was looking sleek and came with jeans and what do you call jeans and t-shirt? It will come in any form. So, Vayu, Yama, Agni, Varunaha, Shashankaha. Now comes a beautiful word, Prajapati. The Prajapati is very badly translated everywhere. Such a lousy translation, Prajapati. Prajapati means the master of Praja. Simple translation. But we have to actually go to the Puranas. You have to read the Puranas. Then you have to go to understand the Puranas. See how the Srishti came into being. From the Nabhi of Mahavishnu came Brahma. Brahma is the head of the department, head of the institution of Srishti. The head of the institution of Srishti cannot permanently go and work in every department. So, 14 Prajapatis have been created by Brahma. The 14 Prajapatis are the primary principles of progeny. These primary principles of progeny are wedded to 3 secondary principles of progeny. Primary, secondary. Okay. So what are these Prajapatis? 14, 3, 42 plus 14, 56 principles of progeny. They are called the 56 principles of progeny. The principles govern from seeding. Okay. From the seed, the fertilization, the growth, right up to delivery. The seeding not just in humans, the seeding in all life forms. See, there is a creature under the sea called seahorse. There is no male female in the seahorse. The male seahorse assumes a female form for some time, gets impregnated, delivers and becomes the male again. What a fantastic srishti. Okay, same thing. There's something called, there's a spider. It's called the black widow spider. The moment it becomes pregnant, it eats the husband first, the mate. I saw a movie called, The Bug's Life, in which there's a character who plays the widow spider. She says, I just ate my 7th husband today. That's how it says. So, there is a principle of progeny. So, Brahma on top, 14 Prajapati Tattvas, and under each Prajapati Tattva, 3. So 42 plus 14, 56, 57 procreation principle. Now suppose you have to put it as a story. How will you put it? So Brahma, he created 14 Prajapatis. So if you write the story, the Prajapati will give it a human form. And to that human form, what will you give? The 3 secondary, you will make them wives. So 14 Prajapatis with 3 wives each. And one fellow comes and argues, if Prajapati can have for 3 wives, why can't I have? Prajapati could maintain all. Can you maintain? To maintain one and pay the bill for one, you have to struggle. Okay. So, Brahma on top, 14 plus 42, together form the progeny principle. So you are that principle. You are the one whose mere presence has made this principle. So Prajapati Tvam, then Prapitamahascha. Some people don't want to explore this. They will make a simple translation, say grandfather and great grandfather also. So they will make him a grandfather. A grandfather kahan se aa gaya? Here Prapitamahascha means Mahavishnu, the ultimate source from which Brahma came. From Brahma came 14 Prajapatis, and with their 3 wives each, with these 52 principles, the entire Srishti came forth. That is how it is to be understood. And when I understand this principle, what do? I do Namo 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 Namaste Astu Sahasra Kritva. I feel like chanting Vishnu Sahasranam because that's the only place where I can describe you. And after that, Punascha Bhuyopi Namo Namaste. I feel like falling at your feet again and again and again. I don't know if you have, I'm sure all of you would have visited a shrine sometime. All of you would have gone to Tirupati. Oh, Narayana, 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 you see, your eyes are wide open, and as you are, that fellow says, Jarakandi, all the is ignored. You go around and keep looking back. You want to have darshan again and again. When you have Ishvara darshan, even in a vigraha, you want to have 100,000 times. Imagine Arjuna is having darshan of Krishna face to face. How many times would you like to look at him? How many times? Just imagine Krishna comes in your presence. Forget Krishna, one cinema star comes. How many times would you like to look at him? You would like to keep looking at him. So that's what he says. Okay? Verse number 40. Then, again, this poetic. The whole thing is very poetic. Namah purastadata prishtataste prishtataste namostute sarvata eva sarva anantaviryam ativikramastvam sarvam samapnoshi tatosi sarvaha. This has got it's a glorious piece of poetry and some Sanskrit grammar here. For a student, we are all advanced students of Vedanta. We have studied 11 chapters together, so I can give you a little technical stuff here. What is this? Nama purastadata. I am looking pura in front. Nama prishtas, going behind is also Bhagwan. It is something like this. Imagine, you are seated in front of Mahavishnu. Okay, let's say you all get today itself, you get a special privilege pass to go to Vaikunta. And we all go are sitting in front of Mahavishnu. After sitting for some time, what would you like to do? You will tell your wife and children, Zara baitho, abhi aata hu. Why? No, I'll just go behind and see what is there and come. Natural curiosity. So he says, in front, pura, tatha, what is in front is Ishvara. Prishtat tataste, when you go behind, you will find Ishvara's face. Meaning, there are 8 directions, 4 main directions, 4 auxiliary directions, up, down. All 10 directions, it is called Vishwato Mukha. When you say Ishvara is Vishwato Mukha, everywhere, wherever you see, I see only Ishvara. Jidhar mein dekhu, tu hi tu nazar aaye. Wherever I see, I only see you. Meaning, I cannot put a space and say, this is where you are, Ishvara. Because when I see space, the space is accommodated in Ishvara. Okay. Namostu te sarvata eva sarva. I only, whichever direction I see, front, behind, up, down, I see only Ishvara. There's a beautiful story, once. There was a person who was sleeping, a sadhu. And his legs were facing a Shivalinga. So a bhakta came and said, why are you facing, your legs are facing a Shivalinga? Why don't you put the other head this way and leg that side? So this sadhu said, hey, I'm an old man, I can't get up and lie down. As it is, I'm suffering from all these itis and these things. So you do something, turn my leg to wherever there is no Shivalinga. So this young man started turning the leg. Wherever he put the leg, he found a Shivalinga popping up. The story is to say, somebody wrote, God is nowhere. So a wise man comes and looks, and after N-O-W, he puts a line. God is now here. Meaning, you are saying, where is God? He says, where? How do you miss God, man? How do you miss? I don't like to use the word God. Ishvara. How do you miss Ishvara? You go to a gold shop and say, where do I get gold here? The fellow will say, sir, 3 doors away, there is one mental hospital, you go there. There is a specialist here who takes care of such people. You go into a gold jewelry shop and look at the jewelry and say, there is gold available. You can say how many grams it's there. But you say, do you doubt it is gold? Gold or gold? It's called gold house. How can you miss Ishvara? That's what he says. This is a beautiful word. Ananta Viryam. Made a special note of this. That's a what do you call it? Class 1 infantile train kids Montessori school translation. For people who don't know how to translate, put all these translations. Yeah. Ananta Virya. Amita Vikramaha. Very true. See, Ananta Virya is so powerful and he is Amita Vikramaha, meaning he is also courageous. See, many of us are very powerful. Okay, but do you have the courage? No. You may command 400 seats in the parliament. But can you overnight do some parliament changes and bring uniform civil code? You may be very powerful, but you don't have the courage. Some fellows are very courageous, useless, no strength at all. So he says, Ishvara is perhaps the only being in which you have Ananta Viryam, Amita Vikramasthvam. You are Ananta Virya, Amita Vikrama. See, very often in families we name the children Vikrama. They plead as, put double name, Amit Vikram you put. If you are naming a grandchild in your family, a son, please name the child Amita Vikram. Amit first name, Vikram can be second name. Third can be whatever, Iyer Sharma, whatever you want. Amit Vikram. Amita Vikram. Now there is a samasa. See, there are so many types of, the samasa means a compound. Okay. There is one samasa called Bahubrihi samasa, where the two parts of the words come together and give you a third meaning. This is not even Bahubrihi samasa. It comes under Visheshana Karma Dharaya samasa. It's a very rare samasa, meaning adjectives are used to create a compound to make you see a special meaning there. Okay, I'm tempted to say, because grammar is so close to Sanskrit here. If you don't break your head on grammar, you don't even have to remember it. Don't go rushing to Google asking for meaning, it will never give you the right meaning. There is a limit up to it, Google will take you. This is a very beautiful samasa. It is called, not able to recall the full, it is Visheshana Karma Dharaya samasa, something very beautiful. Meaning, it's a samasa, it's a compound, a special compound, where adjectives are used in the form of a noun to create a vision for you. So he is Ananta Virya, Amita Vikramastvam, Sarvam Samapnoshi, Tatosi Sarva. Sarvam Samapnoshi. Samapnoshi. You pervade everything. You are Ananta Viryam, you are Amita Vikrama, and you pervade everything. When you do Dhyanam on Mahavishnu or Sri Krishna, do on this. Take this. Ananta Viryam, Amita Vikramatvam, Sarvam Samapnoshi Tvam. And let this vision sink into you. And when you see that everything is Krishna pervading, what's your body? Is it separate from Krishna? What is your mind? Separate from Krishna? What's your intelligence? Separate from Krishna? Your good fortune? Oh yeah, that is Krishna. Bad fortune? There is no bad fortune. There is a script. In the script, 8 scenes, everything is going fine. 9th scene, you have to get beaten. Then 10th and 11th scene, the fellow will come and say, I'm so sorry I beat you. That's the script. What else to do? You can say, I'm a bhakta. How can I be beaten in the 10th scene? It is like saying, I'm a vegetarian. I will jump into a lion's cage and the lion will not harm me. It's all logic. Don't work. So, when you are able to see Ishvara, Sarvam Samapunoshi, you alone pervade my life, every moment of my life, every reflection is your reflection alone. Sarvam Samapunoshi. Okay, this is verse number 40. Okay, 41 wait. Amazing. 41 we should definitely read. Saketi matva prasabham yaduktam. He Krishna, he Yadav, he Saketi. Ajanata mahimanam tavimam maya pramadat praneyavapi. Very beautiful verse. Okay, he says, Saketi. Okay, Sakaiti. I have addressed you as my friend. Hey, Pada Krishna. अरे जा रे तू कृष्णा बोलता है ना कभी कभी यू आर सो क्लोज टू कृष्णा इधर हे कृष्णा तंग मत कर यार you address him as buddy, then you realize that this buddy is Ishvara. Because I have addressed you as Sakha. Sakha iti matva. I have considered you my friend. Cha. And used expressions like, hey Krishna, tu samajhta nahi yaar. You don't understand properly. You don't even understand this much. That's what Arjun told Krishna, no? You don't understand Krishna. I have to kill my grandfather. Krishna smiled. He said, I've already killed my mama. You're talking about grandfather. हमने मामा का वध किया. भाई दद्दू का वध करते हो. We are all on the same boat. So, I've addressed you, hey Krishna. Sometime I've addressed you by your caste name, Yadava. Then we say, वहाँ एक पंडित बैठा होगा. I don't know people who have worked in Delhi. If you have worked in Delhi, they won't call you by name. You will say, oh, बाहर एक लाला बैठा होगा. Lala means he comes from the Baniya caste. And he will say, Pandit beta hoga, means he's a Brahmin. Then they will have a scheduled caste beta hoga. That's how you should work in Delhi to know all this. उधर है यार वो महेश है वो scheduled caste है you will say. So if I have addressed you as Yadava also, I have addressed you as Krishna, I have addressed you as Yadava, then yes, I have addressed you as friend. Why? Pramadat, indifferently. I've not really looked at you as Ishvara. I've always been indifferent. But please understand, I had no intention to do all this because there's a very beautiful Uktamaya. I said all this. Ajanataha, because I did not know. There is a very beautiful word. Bhagavan forgives. Sat khun maaf. If you do this. He says, Imam Mahimanam, your glory, without knowing I did this. Ajanataha, very beautiful word. Where is that? Va api pranayena. Pranaye. Suppose in the family, these are names you can name people at home. No? Pranaya. Pranaya means with whom you are intimately close. Pranaya. I am so close to you, Krishna. Pranayena, out of my intimacy with you, out of my closeness with you, I have called you, hey, fool. Hey, you idiot, why didn't you do this for me? Why don't you fight for me? You don't really understand what trouble I am going through. I considered you pramadata, indifference. I have not really recognized your glory, not because of any other reason, but because of lovely word pranayena. Because I consider you very, very close to me. This is how you do chamchagiri also. If you want to do maskar to somebody, tell him I called you this, I called you this, I called you this, I called you this. Finally say, hey, out of love, man. Is it not? It happens. It happens. It's a very personal, wonderful story which I thought I must share with you. While I was here in Chennai, working in Chennai, I had a very dear friend. When we were working in Calcutta, he was in the promotion ladder, he was maybe 2 steps ahead of me. And then when he came to Chennai, he became the number 2 of this Chennai office. I was the head of the department. And there is protocol, isn't it? So when he came visiting my department, he shook hands and said, "How are you doing, Mr. Mohan? How is work doing? Any difficulty?" I said, "Mr. Michael, I'm so grateful that your support is there." Then he looked at his security officer and he said, "You go forward." Then that fellow moved. Then he tells me in Tamil, "Hey, you call me sir and all, I will break your jaw." That's a closeness you enjoyed the top man. But for the sake of protocol, we had to call him by this. But out of intimacy, I told him, "Hey, privately, I'll call you Michael. Is it okay?" He said, "If you call me any other thing, it is not okay." So he says, Arjuna says, "Hey Krishna, I considered you a very, very intimate, close friend. Pranaye. I considered you so close because of it. I addressed you like this." Okay, and then the next one he will say what are the other things that he did, which we will see in our coming session. The entire thrust is 7 and 9. The Ishvara Tattva was seen. Ishvara is the Abhinna Nimitta Upadana Karanam. It was perhaps understood, but it was not assimilated. So when the assimilation takes place, when it starts working, it leaves you open mouth. That is real awesome. We use awesome for everything these days. That is awesome. Awesome means you are open mouthed in wonder. That is the beauty of this chapter. We will, Ishvara Anugraha, pursue this next session. Oh. Swasti prajabhya paripalayantam nyayena margena mahim mahisha gobrahmanebhya shubhamastu nityam loka samastas vino bhavantu kale varshatu parjanyah prithvi sasya shalinim desho yanchobarahitah brahmana santu nirbhaya sarve bhavantu sukhinah sarve santu niramaya sarve bhadrani pashyantu मा कश्चित् दुःखभाग् भवेत् असतो मा सद्गमय तमसो मा ज्योतिर्गमय मृत्योर्मा अमृतङ्गमय ॐ पूर्णमदः पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः श्रीगुरुभ्यो नमः हरिः ॐ सद्गुरुनाथ महाराज की जय हो। स्वामी दयानंद महाराज की जय हो। सब संतों की जय हो। पवन पुत्र हनुमान की जय हो। बजरंग बली की जय हो। जय श्री कृष्ण। We'll meet.
Jai Shri Krishna.
Jai Krishna.
Jai Shri Krishna.
Jai Shri Krishna. Yeah.
Jai Shri Krishna. Thank you so much, Baba.
Jai Shri Ram.
Jai Shri.
Thank you, sir.
Thank
you, sir.
Yeah, the talk will be available as a recorded thing in YouTube. I'll be uploading it shortly, as soon as it's.
Thank you, Baba. Thank you so much.
Oh.